And I had you.
This meeting is being recorded.
All right, repeat it again. You're fading a little bit.
We went for an immigration interview on Thursday, and a little while ago, you typed out an email to me about me being a part of the Shivambo ministry. So I included that in my documentation for immigration. Yeah, to say, because they do want to know if you've been a part of any organizations or groups. And so I mentioned in there that I was part of the Shivambo ministry, if you will. Thanks for that.
Yeah, well, I always felt this was a ministry because it had spiritual basis to it. And we actually have a nonprofit. So I'm not sure what to do with it because there's a negative association about incorporating as a nonprofit in the United States, as you might have heard, because it's a 501c3. And I just assume call it a faith-based ministry that's not tied to any government. But for us to be able to reach more people, to give donations and to play that kind of game, that's why we set it up.
Yeah, fair enough.
Now, you remember years ago there was a peyote church in the United States? There was a cannabis church in the Big Island.
Oh, okay.
In the state of Colorado, they're legalizing psilocybin mushrooms right now.
Nice.
Is that a good sign?
Yeah, I think so. Freedom to the people. You know, if you find something that works for you, just like Shivambu,
use it.
Yeah, we have rights that make us free to be able to, put things in our bodies that, make us feel good.
Yeah. Our body, our choice.
When you take it the religious route with that, I guess they can't really do anything about it.
Well, of course not. This is part of religious ceremonies.
Yeah.
That's our sacrament.
Yeah, before marijuana was even legal here in Oregon, I was a part of a church in Portland, and you just carried a card around with you, and it just basically said that you have the right to smoke because of you're a member of the church.
Yeah, it's religious freedom. Yeah. Well, we're going to carry a card that says, I have a right to think for myself, so leave me alone. Don't ask me what's in my head. This is none of your business. If I feel like telling you, I'll tell you. Beautiful. So we're waiting on Ray, and we're going to give her a couple minutes. And you've got me all by yourself now. So if you want to ask any questions about this journey, this work, what I love is the fact that you guys now have the ability to have a louder voice, because by right of association with me, you're now connected to millions of people on the planet. So if you have any cool ideas about collaborating or making the message a broader audience, let me know.
Yeah, we definitely, I guess, like the idea of a retreat. I've seen you posting a few posts about retreats. So that would be something that we'd like to explore, I think. More events. There's a lot of events going on. I like doing events, expos. Like you just set up a table, have some banners and books, and just chat with people. That's I love doing that. So does Zach. What else?
Is there a venue where we could host a retreat that you're aware of?
Not at the moment.
I mean, they have a retreat center down the road here.
That is true.
Yeah, they actually do. They are beautiful event spaces.
It's called Manuka. It's up the road, and it is the space you rent out, and then it's a really beautiful. Like, they have amazing views of the gorge, and it's a really amazing place.
Can you send me a link?
Yeah.
Will do. Let's write it down.
Yeah, but not on Zoom.
Yeah.
Does it have a place for people to spend the night?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
I can try to
Yeah, what would be ideal is that we could have it all to ourselves. So if we're doing protocols and foot soaks and massages and whatever we want to do, nobody will have any say in that.
Right. It is sort of like a spiritually minded retreat center. So I think that would be fun.
It's an old Masonic temple. I actually did some construction on the building.
We'll light it up.
Whatever that means. Yes.
Yeah, they have like ram's heads on the inside and like.
Yeah.
Okay, we don't want to know what they do in the dark, secret at night. No.
Yeah, it was built, I don't know, what, 18. Yeah, I mean, it's not used like that anymore. So, but they had like an old, they have an old speakeasy in the basement that was like all like closed off, secret and everything. And
yeah. Oh, Annie, did you go through and just like feel the vibe of the place and pick up stuff?
No, he just brought back stories because he was doing
pictures
remodels and stuff.
Oh.
As part of the construction that he does. I drive past it sometimes, but I haven't been on the property. But
there you are. There's your voice. Okay. It pops in and out. Can't explain it.
Yeah, offensive off-grid reception.
Yeah. It's anomalies. They just fly through inner cyberspace and they
changed the.
Oh, hang on. We are changing the bandwidth to 5G. It's running on old internet, so let me change.
You're still on 3G. Ironically, everybody is so obsessed about 5G, and we're operating. Oh, you froze. You guys froze. You need to put some PP in your circuitry. Well, we can't be recording because they froze. All right, get your Shivambu. We're going to read this. Now, even though the title of this decree is called I Am Light, as I read it, I want you to just imagine the parallel between Shivambu and light. Okay. It's not a call or response, so just breathe in the words as you hear them.
Okay.
It's called I Am Light by Master Kuthumi. I am light, glowing light, radiating light, intensified light. God consumes my darkness, transmuting it into light. This day I am a focus of the central sun. Flowing through me is a crystal river, a living fountain of light. That can never be qualified by human thought and feeling. I am an outpost of the divine. Such darkness as used me is swallowed up by the mighty river of light, which I am. I am light. I live in light. I am light's fullest dimension. I am light's purest intention. I am light, flooding the world everywhere I move, blessing, strengthening, and conveying the purpose of the kingdom of heaven. Cheers.
Cheers.
Live long and prosper. However Spock would do that. So, any questions from last class?
Not that I can think of right now.
Okay. Did you practice any new protocols since yesterday?
Oh yeah. I mean, protocols that I have done, but not for a while. So I drenched my hair in Shivambo last night. It feels amazing. I haven't washed it for 8-9 days, and it feels so clean. So that was nice. I took some aged urine and a cotton ball this morning and put it all over my face. And I sniffed just a little bit up my nostrils. And later today, we have a big glass bowl full of aged urine that we're going to do a foot soak in.
Beautiful, beautiful. What I'd like you guys to do, and I need to bring this back to the water family, is I've been creating challenges for people. Last year, I started the 1-week Shivambu saturation challenge, and there were some people who were willing to play. And what I started earlier this year, but we haven't really pushed it. Remember the ice bucket challenge where people would tip a bucket of ice over their head? Yeah, we want to do it with a bucket of Shivambu and have someone photograph you putting a whole bucket over your head. And in slow motion, I get this lovely image of it dripping all over your body and shoulders.
Mm.
And this would be the new interpretation of a golden shower.
Yeah.
For all you lovers who do golden showers other ways.
Yeah, I would be into that for sure when it gets a little bit warmer.
Yeah.
So that would take a whole new twist on that one. Well, we're going to go into protocols. Is there any technique or method or words you use when you're introducing Shivambu to a newbie?
Words that I use. I mean, Oren is my favorite.
No, when you open up the conversation, what's your conversation starter? Hey, did you drink your pee yet? I mean, how do you start the conversation with them? Or does it just flow as it flows?
I'd say it has a natural flow. Let me think.
I think it's good to say that it's been practiced for thousands of years, and that it has so many benefits, and that's why people have been using it for so long.
Does that sound like a strong argument to you?
I mean, when it flows out, I've said it before, and it sounds better than that.
There's no correct way or incorrect way to do this. It's however your heart opens up to someone, and what they really want to get, not so much that stuff, is that you care about them.
Yeah, and I agree with like you said, like using the word urine to some people, it just so like even when you say urotherapy or Oren, or it takes away that negative disassociation or association.
For example, we were at a barbecue a few weeks ago, and we met some friends of Zach's, and I think they sort of like stalked my Facebook page before we turned up, so they were aware that I practice UT. And a few hours later, during the barbecue, pee jokes started arriving. In
Oh, I love it.
So I knew what was going on, And the girl, she was lovely. She's a hairdresser. And so I said, well, did you know how much pee is actually in hair products and very expensive facial creams? And she was just blown away. And I said, yeah, I mean, I don't know what products you use in your salon, but just have a quick look at the back on the ingredients list, and you might see urea, which is, plasma ultrafiltrate.
And she looked it up.
So it just sort of like gently blew her mind a little bit that there is urine in a lot of products that she wasn't aware of, and that it's kind of normal.
Well, she's a perfect candidate for the handbook.
Yeah, that's right.
Because then that does the teaching without them thinking, oh, it's from you. Oh, it's a book. It must be somebody who knows the subject.
Yeah. Yeah, good.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, she should just have a gallon of her own urine sitting around when people come in and they put their head in the basin. She's going like that.
Yeah. There definitely are certain people though that you can tell they'll probably never try it.
You don't know that, but that's what's so amazing. The universe has a way of creating the space for people to hear something without our judgments placed over it. You never know. People surprise you all the time. One of my students, she does colonics, and she's out in Canada, and she works for a company. So as much as she does urine therapy and practices it, it's not really cool for her to discuss it with her clients, though she would love to be able to put it inside the colonics instead of using purified or city water, whatever they use these days.
Yeah. Same in my job. I'm a caregiver, and a lot of my clients have bags. So I empty the catheter bag, and I'm just like, they're facing end of life sometimes, and I'm thinking I'm pouring away all this beautiful mineral, thousands of components that'll make you feel better, and I'm responsible for medicating them. So, I play my role and I have to, do my job. But at the end of the day, I have peace of mind that I could offer them a solution. So,
Are
yeah.
you in the room by yourself with the client?
Yeah.
If you put some Orin on their body, do you think someone might pick up on that? Would that be cool? Okay, well, you don't want to jeopardize your work.
Yeah. That handbook will come in hand, though. That's why I need those handbooks for them.
Yeah, definitely pick up a bunch of those. When we were in the hospital, it was so easy to use evolving Orin on VJ because all the nurses are used to the hospital bed smelling like piss. So it was no big deal. You got these guys that they had no bladder control and they're always peeing on the bed. They have to change the sheets several times during the day. So they don't notice it.
Right.
So I guess location is everything.
Mm.
All right. You have PDF version of the book?
Yeah, PDF. We got it here.
Okay. It's interesting because there's something in this book which is not in this book. This was my original author's copy, the prototype I got from KDP. And then this one came out, and there's things in here that weren't in this. So when I hear people reading from this book, when I'm reading along with someone reading from this book, and they mention this one part and go, that's something I would have put in the book. And it dawned on me, oh, it's in the book, but it's not in the right version of the book.
Okay.
And we're going to get to that part. I'm going to explain why everybody has beautiful genitals.
Cool.
If you were wondering. Not everybody taps everything off, and not everybody wipes everything off, so it lands on your genitalia. And what do you think nourishes and gives it, that beautiful look? Yeah, I can say that with you guys, but not just everybody.
Right.
All right, we're on page. Did we get to the oral application? Yeah, we did, because I remember the baby steps.
Mm.
Let's just take up on page 47, the drinking protocols.
47.
It's part of chapter 7.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, yeah, we're there.
Okay, drinking protocols. Here we go. Taking Orin orally does not worsen or increase any health conditions. There's a slim chance it might be very mild and unrecognizable. When we drink fresh Orin in any considerable quantity, especially in the initial months of starting UT, it may create diarrhea-like symptoms, which soon heals, and some people get migraines as part of the detox. Simply start for a day, switch to topical protocols for the day off, then start drinking Orin again in smaller doses like 3 to 5 ounces. Increase the proportions when you feel that it's okay to do so. As many years as you guys and I have been into the health and healing path, it always surprises me how many people have no clue what a detox symptom is. Because the body's either nourishing or cleansing. It's in one cycle or the other. It's not a mystery. So if you're getting a headache and nausea and upset stomach and the mucus is pouring out all over the place and the pimples are showing up and all these other signs, you're going, yay, help your body and push it through faster.
Yes, my body's doing what it needs to do to heal itself. Yay.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah, we know when it's time to celebrate. All right, oral application of Orin is a generally accepted practice for anyone serious about reclaiming and regenerating their health quicker. Saturation dosing, explaining the next protocol, will make all the difference between feeling okay sooner than later and feeling like your healthy self again. Newbies, is anyone who just starting this practice, will appreciate baby steps when starting Orin therapy because of the mental adjustments they're making in order to accept the possibility that doing this might be good for them and that you're not a lunatic. How to teach and coach newbies will be discussed later in the chapter. In addition to drinking Orin, everyone who builds a habit of practicing their favorite protocols every day can experience and discover how, in combination, they can receive maximum benefits and a quicker recovery time. A quicker recovery. You can either practice the same protocols every day or try different protocols every other day until you get really comfortable and experienced with them. And this is, you're going to like it when we get to the general treatment suggestions. I mean, you've already been introduced to the calendar idea. So if you're in tune with your body and you're feeling a cramp here and a pain there, or something going on in your body, and you know which protocols will drive the nutrients into that area better, then you know whether you can do a foot soak, a fast, an enema, a liver compress, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And you've done this enough time, your intuition gets spot on when making these suggestions for clients. Perhaps you'll be the discoverer of a new protocol, page 49. By practicing and mastering the protocols, it becomes easier to introduce and explain them to others. With a lifetime of confusing misinformation and ridiculous food rules with its dogma, no wonder why so many people are obsessed, neurotic, addicted, and anxious about what and how to eat for their body. And we went through all those years. Do I get the right blood type? Do I have the right alkaline body type? Do I have the right Ayurvedic dosha? You know, on and on the list goes until you're just nuts. You're going, I'm giving up food. It's insane. Taking a break from eating, known as fasting, based on family, society, religious, medical, media programming around food. And I'd like you to just think about this or write down this and add this to that list. The other things that screwed us up is not chewing well, overeating, and eating too late at night. The optimum time to eat is when the sun's at its highest, and the last food you should take in is at sundown. Optimally, if you're in the cycles with the earth and the universe. And some people who do the one meal a day, they eat between 12 and 2, and that's it. Or maybe a few bites of fruit late at night. The less you can eat, the more you can improve your health. Maybe we should start the Undereaters Anonymous Club. My name is Brother Sage, and I'm addicted to undereating. I just wanted to say that. The food, I'm not sure if it's our friend sometimes. Are learning how to not eat, and let's see, programming around food, eating by the clock, not learning how to know true hunger from emotional, psychological hunger, gives you a mental vacation from concerns and anxiety about food. Now, where do you typically feel hunger? When you have that sensation, where in your body would you say hunger comes from?
When I feel really hungry, yeah, here.
Okay, is it stomach or is it descending colon?
In the stomach.
Okay.
I don't know. Just general area. I experience it in my mind, really, so I can't locate anywhere in my body, but I think I intuitively know the difference of when I'm like, oh, I'm really hungry versus like, I'm bored.
Right.
Oh, that over there looks nice, you know.
Yeah, there's a difference between hungry and hungry. For me and other people have said they feel it in the lower bowel section, the turn of the sigmoid as it goes into the rectum.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And so what's going on, despite how you interpret it, your body's working on peristalsis. It's trying to flex the lower bowel so you can release what's left in the descending colon. But our mind interprets it as, oh, I need food. Right. And try this. Next time that hungry feeling hits you, have something really simple like a banana and a couple of dates. That's all I do. Boom, the hunger goes away. Was I really hungry? So, use your body as a laboratory and you're going to discover cool stuff.
We did that yesterday. I really did feel that sensation of like true hunger. And we had a few nuts and fruit, and it went away.
Yeah,
And then
and you don't have to be a glutton around food.
yeah, and then by the end of the day, we were pretty hungry, so we made a good, healthy vegetable meal.
Yeah, cool. Because when people get taken in by the hunger, they gobble. Forget about food chewing. Forget it. They just wanted to, satisfy the master.
I think a lot of people too, when they're like really hungry, they don't realize that they're actually dehydrated too. So try and hydrate first, and then if the hunger doesn't go away.
Yeah, sometimes 6 ounces of Shivambo will take care of it, and sometimes some celery juice or something really simple. Okay, I'm back on page 49. Freeing the mind from worry about nutritional needs, medicine, healing, and creating the energy and strength for health and aliveness liberates you from obsessiveness around food, medicine, and all external forms of nourishment. This is where you come in and sensibly teach them a new food path along with UT practices and a purification techniques to empower them to enjoy life again. Ready to experience your best health ever by drinking pee and practicing various disciplines to treat the body, mind, and spirit? Now it's time to grab your free personal medicine, custom-made medicine, and get the most benefits possible from Urine Therapy. The joy and return to good health by drinking your pee starts right here and right now. So go take a whiz, collect your water in a glass, a cup, a jar, a bowl, take a breath, give thanks for what you're about to drink, and for Oren delivering every vital nutrient when it is best needed for restoring your health. I wrote that as if that's the defining moment when someone says, I trust you, I'm in, let's do this.
Cool. I can see that. It's like, oh.
I know, the windows of heaven just pop open. I've had people who I've only known briefly on Facebook. This one beautiful gal out in Puerto Rico. She says, hold on a minute. She goes to the bathroom. She comes back with her jar. She says, I'm doing this for you. I said, no, you're doing it for you. So she did her maiden voyage in front of a stranger on camera.
All right.
Wow, cool.
So you never know. You're going to be amazed by things that happen on this journey. All right, page 50. Go take a whiz. I already said that one. Before going into the details with a client and teaching the protocols, here are some basics to learn before giving consultations and guiding sessions or suggesting applications for any illness. Beginners drink 1 to 4 ounces of fresh urine in the morning or split up throughout the day. Their urine can be pure or mixed with juice or distilled water. And that's usually the people who have terrible diets. They need to give it some kind of flavor. Advanced practitioners drink 4 to 6 to 8 ounces of urine every morning or any time of the day for 1 to 2 months. Work up to drinking this amount 3 times a day. Now I understand those are just suggestions. There are some people that get it, they're in right away. Boom, they're doing a quart. They're drinking all day long. So it's wherever people are when they start. Work up to drinking at least 6 ounces of urine 3 times a day. Drink the beginning urine on an empty stomach first thing in the morning. Urine drinking during the day should be done at least 45 minutes before meals or up to an hour after meals. Now, I wrote that in 2020, but you know now that urine is food. And there are people who mix it in their smoothies. They put it on their salads. They do all kinds of stuff because they want to amp up their food. Like we used to put superfoods on your salads. Remember that? The chlorella, spirulina. Oh, by the way, I found another raw spirulina farm in my neighborhood.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I was eating raw spirulina from Florida because the guys had farms out there, and instead of drying it out, they would take the water out, right? So it's more like a custard or the inside of a durian. It's a custard thickness. Put it in a jar, put it in cool packs, and ship it to you FedEx. You'll have it in 2 days.
Oh, wow. Nice.
And so I met a guy this morning who has a farm about 20 minutes from where I live.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
I'm going there Tuesday, right after he harvests. I said, give me a spoonful. I want it fresh.
Oh, nice.
So if you ever want to go that direction, it's a lot of fun. Okay, on an empty stomach. Spreading the time between food or medication and consuming urine will prevent indigestion or negative reaction when urine catches up with undigested food. Practice drinking plenty of urine during intermittent fasting periods. which is not eating from sundown to noon. That's a rough guesstimate. And then increase this length of time until you're fasting only on Orin and distilled water, which is optional when you're looping, for 24 hours at a time. Have you done, I don't know if I asked you, have you done an all-day fast on Orin?
Yeah, I think I have just once there. In February, I did a month worth of drinking Orin every day as part of like this group that they had on Facebook, like a urine therapy group.
Mhm.
So I drank every day in the month of February. Yeah, I felt amazing. So
Were you
it's
fasting
good.
or just drinking every day with your other
Not fasting though. I was eating more like salads and fruit for sure.
Did you put a dressing on the salad?
Yeah, I was still putting dressing. So we'll
I'm
get there.
not judging you. Yeah, the simplest dressing is lemon juice, but everybody seems to want to put on, the apple cider vinegar and the oil and da 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 da. And after a while, you're going, now you got an oily green food. You have to work on that one. So that's a picture of Dr. Bunmi Samola, but that was taken a few years back. He's in Nigeria. He's got his house, his property. He's an herb master. He was a guy who was sick at age 9, and his mom fed him her urine, and it saved his life. He recovered 25 years later. He became a urine therapist. He's currently building a clinic on his property.
I remember him from a World Urine Therapy Conference in December, I think, last year.
Yeah, that's Bunmi. He has an interesting lifestyle because it's an African thing. He's got 2 wives and a whole bunch of kids everywhere.
Wow.
You thought the Mormons had it going on. And these guys in Africa, they always dress like royalty. I don't know if you notice that. They got these beautiful flamboyant colors and patterns. I'm going, send me some. I want some of those clothes. All right, so we're on page 52. I just want to double check with the other book to see if that part comes up on page 52. No, it's not there. That's okay. Evolving.
I'd take a quick pee break.
All righty then. Recording. All right, guys, we're back. Hold on a second. 10, 11, 15. So a half an hour, do a break, and we'll keep it going. All right. Evolving, some call aged or maturing Orin, will be explained later in detail. Orin for 4 days, letting it evolve for 4 days, and try drinking 3 or more ounces on an empty stomach any time of the day. Using 4 days as a measurement to determine Orin to be, quote, aged, came from a theory by John W. Armstrong, author of The Water of Life. And you got to take everything and look at where did they come up with these concepts in the water family, like the midstream that came from thousands of years ago. And these people are trying to come up with the perfect way to measure what is considered aged Orin. So we've got John W., who came out in 1944, said it was 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Then you got Dr. Rosalind Hansen, who says it has to match gestation. She says 9 months.
Okay.
And then there's all kinds of variations in between.
Right.
Ultimately, we make it up.
Exactly.
Right.
So if someone
I'm curious what their reasonings were for the gestation of 9 months, and then what was their explanation for that? Do you know?
Well, she's a naturopath, so I'm feeling she's thinking that, well, it takes 9 months to produce a body, from embryo to fetus to baby. And maybe she's trying to make a connection or association with, well, if you let the Orin go through 9-month cycle, it's going to be the most potent. But I don't really know how she came up with that.
I like the 4 days. I think also that time doesn't exist. So yeah, 4 days, as you were reading in the book here, seems intuitively something that I'd be drawn to call it evolving.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
right.
Or maybe even the moon cycle. So 28 days sounds pretty cool to me as well.
Mm-hmm. So once again, we're reminded that doing Shivambu does not require dogma.
Yeah.
Because then people start building that into their practices, and then they start telling other people about that, and then we got dogma in the community.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot simpler than that. All right, we're going to fertility at bottom of page 52. Trying to get pregnant, the best and safest method is to start Urine therapy 6 months before trying to conceive and use it moderately during the days that you're attempting to conceive. You can use Urine diagnostic tests to determine when you're ovulating and when you're conceived, and when you've conceived, and you can gear your use of Urine accordingly. Page 53, the use of urine therapy during pregnancy. Although pregnant women are being treated successfully using UT for morning sickness or edema, some teachers believe that UT should not be used during the pregnancy without the supervision of a doctor familiar with the medical use of urine. Good luck finding one. Concerned about the concerned about the natural release of toxins that might occur with Urine therapy at this time, you can choose to honor your concerns and feelings and avoid UT during pregnancy, or trust the innate intelligence of the body and Shivambu and sail right through it. So as you can see, a lot of our work is simply bringing peace of mind to people. Because they're going to think they're the one exception to why they can't do this practice. And there ain't no exceptions. There are no exceptions other than in their mind. So you get used to that. Children, page 53. There have been several research studies that deal specifically with the treatment of children using UT. Oral drops or spoonfuls of the child's own fresh urine are considered as the easiest internal form of the therapy for children, although adults' urine works quite well. For acute, now wouldn't you think that'd be the case? Because we've got the same genome, we've got the same, we're blood relatives. How perfect. For acute flu, colds, viral infections, measles, mumps, chickenpox, small frequent oral doses every 2 hours, 4 to 10 drops, or 1 to 2 tablespoons during an illness have shown to be very effective. Now, this is a really low end serving here. I mean, I'd have people doing shot glasses, but you gotta understand the parent and how they're thinking.
Yeah.
During illness have shown to be very effective. For allergies, the research studies indicate that several drops of fresh urine should be given orally before and after meals containing allergenic foods or when allergic symptoms are present, like nuts or potatoes or whatever people get allergic to. If the child agrees to eat only raw foods, especially fruit, during a healing or a cleansing period, the results will be quicker. The eating lifestyle will keep children from experiencing the unpleasant symptoms of headache, nausea, gas, or acidosis, or poor food combining, constipation, or inflammation. Ultimately, raising children on living foods in AUT has proven to produce disease-free children who grew up healthier than children who eat like everyone else. They're also a lot more well-balanced. Navel soaks are excellent for treating allergic reactions. So when we get to the belly button soak, you'll hear more about that. Another very effective method is to prepare a homeopathic dilution of the child's urine to use throughout the illness or allergic attack. Collect urine at the onset of symptoms and begin UT protocols immediately. As the body begins internal cleansing at its steepest level or greatest threat to its well-being, symptoms of an illness may temporarily increase immediately following the first few doses of UT, but in all cases, these symptoms dissipate within 24 to 48 hours. Just so you know, I don't recommend homeopathic remedies because why dilute it? But there are some people who are really, really sick, so that might be the exception. You're still getting it in their body, but it's in a smaller potency. Unless you study homeopathic, because they're really big into small is better. In most cases, these symptoms dissipate in 24 to 48 hours. For ear infections, fresh, warm urine drops in the infected ear will give excellent and often instantaneous results. Repeat as needed. Pets and UT. Veterinarians have given research tests on animals using urine medically by administering urine orally and topically with reportedly good results. More and more pet owners are reporting that they're using their Orin on their dog, their cat, their ferret, their bird.
Yeah. Did it topically on Rosa over here.
Yeah. And what was the reason for doing that?
To calm anxiety.
Mm-hmm. And it worked.
Yeah, I've only done it once, but he didn't seem to mind, so I think it'll be a bit more of a practice because he does seem to have anxiety, and so yeah, I just keep a little spray bottle. I have one in my car as well, just like a little spray bottle, and I just go around and put some on his fur.
Okay. Have you put any on his paws?
No.
It's a good idea.
Good idea. Yeah.
Because you got all those reflexology points.
Okay.
He'll probably lick his paws too.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, he's going to create the perfect recycling and the loop set system. Very nice. So we're going to loops night sipping. Page 55. The practice of taking a sip of Orin when you wake up during the night to pee. This is easy when you get into the habit of leaving your Orin container by the bedside or someplace you can get to easily. It's a time saver, especially when you're not quite awake to coordinate body movements and have to find the way to the bathroom. We've all done that. You're walking along the wall. Where the hell is the bathroom? I'll just pee in my pants. It's so much easier. It's a time saver. Next time you get up in the night to pee, save the output, take a sip, and go back to sleep. This adds extra nutrients, especially melatonin, serotonin, DHEA, into your body, and there's magnesium and there's B vitamins. These are all known to relax people. So people just take a sip and go back to bed. Swishing or gargling, page 54, page 56. This protocol prevents bacterial overgrowth by cleaning away toxic buildup in the mouth, tongue, and gums. Pour Orin in the mouth, swish it around the teeth and gums and tongue. Hold a mouthful of Orin for a couple of minutes, swallow. Gargle with Orin several times a day or every time you pee or think about it. Gargling Orin is good for a toothache, tongues, throat ache, and all ailments of the mouth, including bad breath. Smell like pee, but you don't have bad breath. Some people, I asked some of the folks in the water fountain, could you videotape yourself gargling so we could splice several? I mean, I get these awesome ideas, and I like to see like 20 people all gargling at once, and we splice it all together and have a group gargle in. But I didn't tell them, don't keep your mouth open when you gargle, because it looked a little weird. They're gargling with their mouth open.
Okay.
But I guess that's how you do it. All right, pulling. Pulling is similar to coconut oil pulling. After gargling and swishing Orin around the mouth, hold it in the mouth for at least 5 minutes before you swallow. Did you get into coconut pulling?
Yeah, I've done that quite a few times. We have a little coconut oil jar, and I do it occasionally, like intuitively too, you know.
Okay.
It's great I do use it for brushing my teeth sometimes and with the urine. And I put some hydrogen peroxide in there. Yeah.
So can you explain more what the coconut oil pulling is?
Well, you hold it in your mouth, and it's supposed to take out bacteria.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's it.
You just like swish it around in your mouth. So.
Okay.
I think it whitens my teeth a bit too. I can see it when I use I think baking soda and coconut oil. It's really good for
And some
keeping
people
your teeth white.
sodium bicarbonate. That's what baking soda is.
Mm.
And some people add a little Himalayan sea salt to the mix. It's up to them. So that's what pulling is. You just simply gargle and swallow. You hold it in your mouth for as long as you can. Looping is the practice of repeatedly drinking Orin for the entire day. By looping, which is basically drinking all the pee you collect during the day, you gain the benefits from the recycling and refiltering of the dense micronutrients, reproduction of trillions of new stem cells and antibodies.
Sounds good to me.
It sounds like the best recycling program on the planet. Instead of going down and getting rid of your compost and your plastic and your glass, and you're taking it down there and they cycle it through, and you're just going, I got it. I'm just going to keep drinking everything. When eating while looping, it's less stress on the body to eat foods moderately that consist of living foods and fruit, which have high water and enzyme content. And that's ultimately what you're looking for the optimum diet, is one that has water, chlorophyll, enzymes, and a strong life force.
Mm-hmm.
So if you start talking about high frequency foods, people are going to have to start dropping off from the meat and the dairy and the processed stuff, because that stuff is either low vibration or dead.
Yeah.
They took the life out of it.
I use some powders that are really good that I've had amazing results with. Vitamineral Green and Vitamineral Earth.
Yeah, Jamie Sheridan.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What's it? Is it Source Naturals? No, that's not Source Naturals.
Health Force.
Yeah, Health Force. Yeah.
Yeah.
He mixes his urine with it too, though.
The
He
green
puts,
one sometimes.
Yeah, makes a mix with the urine and the powders.
Yeah.
Good.
He passed away a few years ago. Yeah, all of a sudden his heart gives out. His wife is trying to figure out what to do, Jamie, and they pulled it off. Kim, he was Jamie, then he changed his name to Jamath. He passed away a few years ago, but the company just still going strong. They kept it going.
Yeah, I ordered it straight through the company when I got my jars last time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the other one, which I thought was comparable, is called Pure Synergy out of Utah. Yeah, look it up sometime. Mitchell May, he was in a major car accident, and he met with this guy, and he taught him about the power of superfoods. And he healed himself and produced a company called Pure Synergy.
Cool.
Their logo is the Merkaba.
Nice.
We'll look into
That tells you anything. Okay, you do not come out of a fasted state. I missed it. The advantage of looping during an Oran fast, other than other forms of fasting, including water fasting, is that you can get more and denser nutrients than juice or water. Oran is the most nutritionally dense, bioavailable, absorbable, and activated living water in the world. You do not come out of a fasted state, which gives you the advantages of the water-only fast. Your body does not have to stop cleansing and healing. Your body increases human growth hormone by 2,000%, along with many other beneficial substances, with similar increases that occur during fasting. Every human being has already been drinking and looping pee for most of the 9 months they are in the womb, growing in a water world filled with piss and amniotic fluid. Doesn't that sound wonderful now? Other people are hearing this, they're going, are you freaking nuts? I like it when there's that kind of contrast with reality. As a baby, you naturally pee into the space you're floating in and drink or snort it down again. Round and round it goes. If, according to the medical system, Oran is a waste material, as we have been led to believe, after spending 9 months drinking your pee, snorting Oran, floating in Oran, and growing a baby body in amniotic fluid, every baby would be born sick or dead. You see how their logic doesn't hold weight? Page 58. Hold on a second. I just want to see if that's the part. Okay, taking sip looping. Taking a sip of fresh Oran as much as you can, comfortably hold it in your mouth every time you collect your water. It's called sip looping. You get the visual? Just take a sip.
Oh, yeah.
You collect some, take a sip.
Yeah, I do that a lot.
Yeah, it's like time-release nutrition. Some consider this sip of pee as a dose or serving size of their medicine. It's a great way to make and keep the commitment to achieving radiant health by supplying the body with what it needs on a timed basis. Instead of wondering if you meet the body's nutritional requirements by drinking Oran, sip looping will cover you. Does sip looping, a term coined by Doc Mike Whittort, a veteran UT therapist of Chicago, remind you of time-release pills that folks used to get well? This is the brilliance of sip looping. Pee, sip, wait for it. Pee, sip, repeat. It's a no-brainer. Even a newbie can sip, loop. And after learning this UT protocol once, they can do this for life. It's so cool to see the cat's head right there in front of Zach. As your body gathers all the energy and information it needs from what you ate, what's eating you, any compromising in your systems or functions, your emotions, and how you're managing your energy, it masterfully blends the perfect elixir of immortality for you to drink, and in the most perfect timing. Combining sip looping during fasting, a water or juice fast, or when eating raw foods or juice, creates a better environment for the functions of the body's absorption, assimilation, and elimination systems. Be sure to save the entire Orin output from the day. This supply adds up quickly when practicing sip looping. You will be using this collected supply for all your protocols. Begin storing and evolving half of this precious water supply to use in the coming days, weeks, months, or years ahead. The other half of this supply will be used in the practices of your favorite topical protocols. So this is good to suggest to people who say, well, I loop all day long. How am I ever going to collect enough to do protocols? I mean, they can work it out. They can figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, do some looping, or drink a smaller amount, or get a pee buddy, get some of theirs.
Yeah.
Or whatever you can come up with. Any questions so far about looping or sip looping?
Nope. It's just amazing how much, when you're looping, how much you actually left over to do with other things. Like between the two of us, we supply ourselves, the cat, the garden, which is pretty substantial, and we have enough left over to use for aged, and enough aged left over for the foot baths.
And that's not catching at all, for
and
sure.
That's not even close to catching it all. That's only half.
Less, maybe.
Yeah, well, when you remember that your Shivambo is a diuretic, it'll make sense why you pee a lot.
Yeah, it makes me have to pee more drinking my pee.
Right. So what some people do is they switch that out with distilled water or fresh fruit juice or vegetable juice. But in either case, you're going to get the benefits. All right. Saturation dosing with AUT, page 60. We've already done that. Let's skip past it. We're going to go to page 63. We've got about another 10 minutes before a break. Can you hold out? Wonderful. All right. People ask you, what do I collect it in? What do I store it in? Let's go back 5,000 years and see what the Damar Tantra had to say. They recommend using vessels. They use the word vessel or containers made of gold, silver, copper, brass, iron, glass, earth or clay. I don't know if they had glass back then. Bamboo, bones, leather, a bowl made out of plantain leaves, or you can use a coconut shell. And this is for storing. Got that? What to use for a cover. And I'm going to explain why to cover or not to cover is a personal choice. Whether to use something that has breathing room or something that seals it a little more permanently, it's up to you. All right, some people use cheesecloth, nylon stocking, a hemp sprouting bag, a flax hemp sprouting nut milk bag, or even screwing on a lid works fine. Whichever cover you choose to store the Orin will still result in a high quality evolving Orin. Hint, since Orin is antibacterial, antiseptic, antifungal, antiviral, choosing to cover or not to cover is a personal choice. Covering Orin keeps out airborne pathogens, bugs, or insects from contaminating the water. Now, if you go back to the Shivambo Wisdoms, number 2, you'll remember that it alchemizes or sterilizes anything it touches. So nothing can contaminate or affect the potency of your Orin, unless you let something, fall in there. So what I do is I screw on a lid. I just screw it on when I'm ready to use it. Or sometimes what's nice to use, and more people are doing this, get a cover that's larger. Get a cover that's larger than this guy. You're not really screwing it on, right? And then to help keep the smell out of the room, this is a coffee filter.
Oh, nice.
So I just put a coffee filter on top of that. And this is the one that doesn't have bleach. It's the pure organic coffee filters. Boom, you're done.
Easy.
Okay.
Nice.
Of course, I didn't know that trick when I wrote the book, so now you know it. All right. So you can do any of those things. Drinking or in any time of the day is the best time to have a drink. Shivambu is an intuitive medicine. It is designed into perfection for each of us. Drink as much as you can, whenever you can. Be sure to clean up your diet. Getting closer to eating living plant foods and fruit is the best. The sooner you make the change, the better. Any questions about storing?
No. So it is just intuitive again, just like the medicine itself, you know. We store our medicine in a variety of different ways. And I do feel like I'd be confident enough to share that with clients on different ways that they can store it.
Yeah, I like the jars the best. It's just really easy and simple.
Yeah, particularly if whether you're a man or a woman, you can aim it in there easy.
Yeah, a wide mouth jar.
Yeah, and you might have seen some postings on social media. Some people have wine bottles with a little teeny opening to it. So it's either a guy peeing into it, or the women are using a funnel, or they just transfer it over, and that's what they store it in.
Mm-hmm.
I never asked them to send a video. How do you get it in there? I want to know.
A straw.
Okay, videotape you doing that. That I got to see. Oh my goodness. All right, we're on page 64. As you can tell, we have a lot of fun on this subject. Drinking or in any time, I already read that one. Be sure to clean up your diet. I read that one. Okay, now foot soaks. I told you why I'm big on foot soaks.
Tell us again.
I'm a master reflexologist. I'm known in Boulder as the world famous footman. My dad was a podiatrist, and his dad, my grandfather, was a shoemaker. I'm third generation foot guy.
Yeah.
It's in my blood.
Yeah, the evolving foot guy. It's just like evolved throughout the family line, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, second and third generation farmers and second and third generation gardeners. Same kind of thing. So, you got one of these?
Yes, we do.
Kind of. We should get a bigger one.
Yeah, so we can do the feet and the hands.
I was thinking a cat litter box might work pretty good.
That will work. This one holds 2 gallons. If you can get a gallon there, that's fine. If you can get in 2 quarts, that's fine. But you want to be able to cover up to the ankles at minimum, because that's where the reproductive organs are in reflexology. So from the ankles down, you're going to get all those points. Page 65. We got about 5 more minutes. We're going to take a break. Foot and hand soaks support the overall health of the body. They're useful for any irritation, fungus, infection of the feet, diseases, cuts, stings, bites, eczema, or scratches. I added that later. Foot soaks are good for nourishing all bodily functions from endocrine, digestion, absorption, nervous system, lymphatics, elimination, and the immune system. Place enough Orin, 2 to 4 quarts will do, in the 2-gallon Tupperware, quote, Tupperware type of soft plastic tub to cover both feet up to the ankles. Get barefoot. Wear loose-fitting pants, shorts, rolled-up yoga pants, pajama bottoms, or a swimsuit. If you're doing this in the bathtub, clothing is optional. It's irrelevant, because while you're soaking your feet in it, you can be rubbing and dabbing it up the calf and the shins and the knees and all the way as high as you can go. When doing a foot soak while sitting on a edge of a bathtub or in a seat inside the tub. You'll be soaking for 30 minutes, so take advantage of this time by doing something relaxing or healing for you. Listen to music, sing, meditate, chant, draw, read a book, or whatever you do. Get caught up on emails, whatever you do. Use this soaking time to apply reflexology to the points on the bottom of the feet and or hands to activate and open energy pathways for healing in every point. It doesn't matter whether you study reflexology or not. love and intention is what makes the Oran magic work. And that came from personal experience. My wife and I were married 22 years. I gave her over 200 massages. And every time I asked her to give me a massage, her excuse was, "But you're the professional, darling." I said, "Yeah, but you love me, right, darling? So just use your intention and go to work." She finally figured it out. She didn't need to know technique.
Yeah.
And people
We're
get,
blessed to have a massage table. It's one of the first things I bought when I came over here to the US because I left mine in New Zealand. So every now and again we set it up and give each other good massages. Yeah. No, I haven't done the urine therapy UT massage, but just because, I don't know, we have family around, but we'll sneak in a little urine massage at some point, I think.
well, what we did at the retreat is simply put the massage table outside, or we could do it inside, but we did it outside and bought a cheap shower curtain and just covered up the table, right? And then put the massage sheet over the plastic, put the client and then another sheet on top of them, and just, you know, poured it on. The tricky thing is it's a different viscosity and a thickness from oil to water. So unless you slow down your movements and press deeper, you're going to slide off their body. Which is fine if you want to super slide. If you want to slip and slide, that's so I found that out when I was massaging a client at the retreat. Okay, the pores at the bottom of the feet and the hands have the widest openings or pores in the entire surface of the body. This offers maximum absorption to the aura and into the bloodstream. And I've got a couple of videos of doing a demo if you want to look at those. Reflexology, a healing modality that is often combined with the application of essential oils, teaches the use of touch with a certain pressure on the feet and hands to stimulate and clear the flow of energy connected to each point. By applying Oran to the soles of the palm or of the palms of the hands or feet, which have the widest openings of pores in the body, the perfect medicine is instantly absorbed through the skin and transported throughout the bloodstream and cells. Remember, suggest the foot soak methods to those hesitant to take their first sip or drink of pee. And it never ceases to amaze me. People are willing to step in their pee, but they won't drink it. So eventually, you know, their resistance will come down.
Yeah.
While the feet are soaking in the golden plasma water, use the opportunity to rub or dab Oran on the calves, shins, and knees, or as far up the legs as possible. The same protocol is used for doing hand soaks, except with a smaller size container. Have fun during these hand and foot soaking time. You're worth it. Great for fungus, infections, arthritis, skin problems of the feet and hands, as well as other health conditions throughout the body. Now, what I found was really easy to do, and I'm one of those guys, I don't know if you're that kind of person, is you like to multitask. So while your feet are soaking in here, for example, I'll sit on the toilet, and there's a certain way, which is lengthwise. I forget, is it lengthwise? Yeah, lengthwise, both feet will fit in. And while you're got your feet in, you can actually bend over and put your hands in at the same time. Which is a little awkward stretching your spine that way, but you know, you can get both hands and feet done at the same time.
Yeah. You could do like downward dog. You could get your yoga in at the same time. Do some yoga poses in the tub. Yeah.
Can't wait to see your video. Okay, any questions? We're gonna take about a 5 or 8 minute break.
No questions. It's incredible.
This meeting is being recorded.
Oh, you're so nice to say that. Thank you. Page 67. Enemas, douches, implants. Any well-trained nutritionist, naturopath, wellness practitioner knows to restore your body to wholeness and balance, getting started on a series of colonics or enemas should be done as soon as possible. Has that been your experience?
I've never done an enema. But I would recommend that for clients that are going through something where that's that can be helpful for sure.
Yeah. About a year and a half ago, I did enemas nonstop with aged Oran for 2 years.
Wow.
Because something happened to my intestines. I went and had a hernia operation because I had an inguinal hernia bust on my right hip area, inguinal. And so the doctor, in his wisdom, not only put in one little mesh screen in there, he decided to reinforce both sides of the inside of the inguinal area. And I have a feeling he either left something in there or put something in there that wasn't supposed to be in there.
Mm.
And it's been made it difficult for me to have bowel movements. So I was doing I was nonstop aged orin enemas for 2 years.
Okay. And that cleared it up?
Not entirely, but I noticed that if I keep my diet mostly on the fruit side, I'll have 3 or 4 bowel movements every day.
Oh, good.
So
for an enema, would you suggest, like, I mean, like if someone was actually just like healthy and just drinking their pee, that's first and foremost. Drink it, and then maybe if you know that you're dealing with something internal like you did, then an enema would be definitely suggested.
I would suggest an enema for anybody who grew up eating the American diet.
For sure.
Because you have your whole lifetime of how you ate until you moved into raw foods.
Right. And your body kind of recycles, so much anyway over a matter of months or years. So
it does, but some things, they get impacted inside of the intestine in the different turns and bends. So just doing like a cleanse once in a while is helpful.
Yeah.
Like spring cleaning.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't have to have a condition, or, I mean, it may not be aware. You don't know what's going on in your body unless you got really good insight. You really dial in your body, you'll know.
And most people have parasites all the time.
Parasites, worms, all kinds of stuff, particularly if you eat meat. I did not want to bridge that conversation with the guy who eats raw meat. Well,
yeah,
those worms, if you don't cook them, those parasites come right in the meat, and where do you think they go? And these guys are clever. If you go after them with black walnut husk and clove and the major, herbs they use to clean out parasites, they'll go hide in other tissues. They're brilliant at survival. So you have to think about whenever you want to try that. For chronic illness or any occasional intestinal body cleansing, orin enemas are, page 68, a lifesaver. Administering an orin enema is a good way to remove poisonous substances from the body. Taking douches for vaginal discomfort, pain, or health conditions works wonders, as the orin saturates the area, gets absorbed into the bloodstream, and brings relief. The nutrients contain antibacterial, anti-candida, antifungal, and anti-cancer properties. Excuse me. Orin enemas are a good way to prevent the destruction of hormones by gastric juices, buildup of toxic material, and obstruction or congestion, which is why this method often helps to cure allergic disorders better. This is also true for orin injections, which we're going to discuss injections here in a little bit. Have you ever thought of doing orin injections?
Not personally, but now that I'm sort of in the healthcare profession, if you could say, I want to get certified to be able to give injections. As part of our practice. So for sure, I'd like to do that. And obviously, once I'm certified and feeling comfortable, I would try that on myself. Yeah.
Yeah. And then all you got to learn is the right needle size. Furthermore, a number of compounds in orin are better absorbed this way than by oral ingestion. Many people will prepare a filled plastic or glass gallon container with full strength of diluted orin before starting a series of enemas. This will give you enough orin to give yourself 3 to 4 rounds of enemas. Hot water, some people will add hot water if they don't want that little cold shock when it first enters your backside. So some people heat up their orin before they use the tube. And that's optional. Remove rugs from, this is how I do it. Remove the rugs from the bathroom. Lay a beach towel on the bathroom floor. Hang the filled enema bag on a drawer handle, towel rack, or toilet paper fixture. Be sure you have locked the clamp on the lower end of the tube before you hang up the bag to prevent spills. If it happens, you just cleaned your floor. It's one of our water family jokes because you have the most antiseptic and antibacterial water and you drop it on the floor. But in our old paradigm thinking, we go, oh man, there's going to be pee on the floor. Test the temperature of the Oran before pouring it into the bag to determine if adding hot water will be more comfortable without the initial shock of inserting the tube up the bum. Adding extra hot water, tap water is fine, to the enema bag helps the gut and body to relax. You will feel more comfortable during the process. Now, some people who are purists, they wouldn't use city water, so they'll use distilled water and they'll heat it up on the stove. That's a personal choice. When I'm in there and I want to get in and out, because it's about a 45-minute process if you're doing, the whole bag or a whole gallon, several rounds of it, plus putting everything away, cleaning up the toilet, cleaning up the sink, cleaning up the equipment. It takes about 45 minutes. So if you got to go back and forth to the kitchen to heat up the water, it takes a little bit longer. So that's up to you if you got the time. A single massage oil like sesame oil works great on putting it on the tip of the hose. But avoid anything like peppermint, oregano, cinnamon, anything that's volatile, or you're going to be jumping out of your skin.
Yeah.
Yeah, she knows that. Okay, when finished with the enema, be sure to allow time for deep cleaning of all surfaces of the toilet, floor, bathroom, sink area, as well as the enema bag and all attachments. Put aside time after the enema to relax, rest, and recharge your enema. People in their busy schedules who are multitasking maniacs go right into whatever they're doing right after the enema and going, what? Lay down. Go lay in the sun. Do something other than working. Next step after filling the lower intestines with Oran while sitting on the toilet, holding the Oran in the colon as long as possible before you're letting go. Optional. After the material is discharged, apply fresh or evolving Oran on the skin of the entire body. Another option. Get into a tub filled with hot water, as hot as you can stand it. Stay in it for 20 minutes. After that, go to the bed. Cover with a few blankets if needed. Sweat out the fever you might experience. Taking Oran douches for vaginal discomfort, pain, or health conditions works wonders as the Oran saturates the area, purifying the vagina of pathogens and toxins as it is getting absorbed into the bloodstream to bring relief. Douche with fresh or evolving Oran. It really doesn't matter, but you get to figure intuitively what that is. Ever seen this version?
No.
Yes, I've seen. When I was really getting into the handheld enema phase of my life, I found these that range from 3 ounces to 4 ounces to 6 ounces to 8 ounces with different tips.
Oh.
Now, the typical enema bag comes with one for either the anus or for the vagina. It's a different thickness.
Mm-hmm.
So you have options.
Oh, cool.
And most people, I think I showed you this the other day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you did.
It holds about 2 ounces. And you get this at a children's section in a grocery store. So they're not very expensive.
Okay. One thing I have to add is I've been using a moon cup for so long now. And the moon cup, it's like silicone that you instead of using tampons or whatever. So sometimes I would just, soak that in my urine and just, use it. So you get maybe like 10 drops or whatever, and that goes in and, does its thing.
Mm-hmm.
So anyone here who's listening who's female, I highly recommend the moon cups. Look into that.
Excellent. Thank you. Type it in so I can add that to the description.
Okay.
For menstrual.
Here we go.
Thank you. Thank you, Rooster. Try inserting 3 to 6 ounces of Orin in the colon. Hold as long as you can. This is called a rectal implant. The 3 to 6 ounce silicone or rubber soft bulbs are sold at pharmacies, health food stores, or online. Did you guys ever get into wheatgrass implants? Wheatgrass juice?
Not implants.
No, not implants. We didn't really do. I mean, we actually recently we got a little bunch of wheatgrass. I've just been, yeah, we just had a hectic schedule. We haven't actually juiced any of it, but we're certainly getting into the wheatgrass juice.
We have a greenhouse that I'd like to use here pretty soon just for sprouts.
Nice. Well, I knew about wheatgrass juice implants years ago when I was in starting the raw food journey, and people were doing wheatgrass enemas and wheatgrass implants, and they would put in 3 ounces and leave it overnight, so it gets absorbed into the body. So you could do it with the Orin.
Yeah, cool.
And some people are teaching, like the teachers out in Canada, they're saying just even get something like one of these, the syringes, and put in 20 milliliters. You just got to get enough in there so it gets absorbed.
Nice.
It can be done anytime. It's a quick way to introduce Orin in the colon without a lengthy process of setup, use, cleanup from using an enema. A cleanse is even better when a rectal implant is done after a bowel movement. Okay, any questions?
No.
No, she joined.
Is there any other way? Well, like you said, after a bowel movement, is there any other suggested preparations before an enema?
Before an enema, well, you don't want to eat that day if you can help it.
Right. Okay.
All right. So you're preparing your body by just doing liquids, and then you prepare the room for when you're going to do the enema.
Okay.
And if you can, block off your day so you don't have any activities.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, you can add other protocols like massage and some other things to it to get a deeper healing. All right, we're going to do the ears, and then we're going to turn off the recording if you guys want to talk about anything.
Okay.
I imagine you would have something to talk about. Ears, page 71. Rinse the ears with Orin, either the palm of your hand or use a dropper to apply Orin in the ears. While head is tilted to the direction opposite the side of the filled ear, massage or pull around the inner edges of the ear to encourage the Orin to sink deeper into the ear. You're also aware that there's a whole lot of reflexology points in the ears, right? So as you bring it in the ears, you can apply it to the ear and either let it just keep your head tilted at the side or put in a cotton ball or whatever you want so it stays a little bit longer before you tilt your head and let it drain.
Okay.
Got ear health? Squeeze a dropper full of Orin into the ear canal with your head lying down on the opposite side. Hold Orin for as long as you can. Try it for 5 minutes. When ready, tilt your head the opposite side, let it drain. Repeat the protocol with the other ear. And just remember, when it pours out your ear, don't wipe it off. Rub it off or rub it everywhere else. These people that are like trying to be really perfect and clean and neat, I'm going, why? Use Orin ear rinses to treat hearing, tinnitus, any ear infections, or wax buildup. An alternative method to eardrops is to place Orin-soaked cotton ball in the ears, keep it in the ear for an hour, and then remove it. Tip head to the side of the ear and massage thoroughly the ear to either absorb or drain the remaining Orin. Q-tips are useful not only in applying and dabbing Orin inside the ears. Everybody knows what a Q-tip is. Duh. Other side of the ears, but they can also be used in other ways. Many people will easily sniff a finger dipped in pee as a beginner's method of drinking Orin through the nose. Others will use the Q-tip to swab inside both nostrils to clean out bacteria in the nasal passage as they lightly sniff the Orin. So some people will just do it inside. but don't do it like a COVID test. Don't go bam, just on the inside.
Mm.
Okay. It's a personal choice. Q-tips like cotton balls soaked in orin work well for a quick remedy for specific conditions. However, in any emergency situation, like a hornet or wasp sting, burn or cut, you'll need to move quickly on an AUT treatment. This is where sometimes injections will be life-saving. If they don't have time to pee, they're in shock and they can't urinate, but you can save their life. Forget about rushing home or scrambling through the medicine cabinet or bathroom drawers for supplies. Either pee directly on an affected area or pee in the palm of a hand, transfer it to anywhere on the body. Let's just move into the eye rinse. Oh God, I love this. You have eye cup? You have an eye cup?
No, we don't have one. We will get one. I'll just do it with my hand.
You do have an eye cup.
Yeah.
It's your hand. This is cool because like the goggles, it forms a suction. So it stays in place while you're blinking in and out. I found these online or at a local holistic health type of pharmacy. Some health food stores have them.
Okay.
All right, eye rinse. Obtain an eye cup from a local drugstore, health food store, or online. Fill up an eye cup with fresh orin to avoid a sting from the astringent quality of evolving orin. However, some people there have real bad eye problems and they rather just take it. Whatever sting is, they want their vision.
Yeah.
And this happened to my friend Layla the other day. She said, I don't know. I just felt like putting age in my eyes. And her eyesight got better and better with one application.
Wow. Okay.
A lot of confirmations we get. Press, hold firmly to one eye. Blink several times while a cup of orin is still secure. Pour excess orin remaining in the cup directly over the eye and surrounding area. This is what Dr. Hansen was teaching at the convention. After you finish having it suction over your eyes, when you're done doing both eyes, just pour it over the iris. Pour it right over the eyelid, over the eyeball.
Okay.
Then swish eye cup and repeat protocol with the other eye. The eye rinse protocol supports eye health, bringing relief to tired, burning, or painful eyes, particularly if you are guys that stare at a screen a lot. Use orin eye rinses to treat all irritation, cataracts, poor vision, swimmer's eyes, sore or tired eyes, or any kind of eye infection, including floaters. To treat any type of eye problems, do the following. Drink fresh orin into both nostrils from time of awakening until 6 p.m. This is from Dr. Lodha out in India. After 6 p.m., collect the orin until bedtime. The orin shall be collected for external use, i.e. pour it into the eye 3 to 4 times a day. Give yourself an orin body massage from someone or from yourself in the next few days. It shall prevent and treat many other diseases such as coronavirus. Yay, Dr. Lodha, he's not bashful. Make certain that the eyedropper you use for eye rinses is sterilized. A compress of fresh orin is also excellent for external eye inflammation such as styes. You know the best way to sterilize your eye cup?
Piano.
More orin. I get a kick of people trying to find something to clean their cup when they already had it cleaned.
Oh.
You can tell we're operating in different contexts, constructs. Any questions?
No.
So as we get into our next class, which will be Saturday the 18th, we're going to go more into fasting. Hopefully some of the other folks will join us again. What to do with food poisoning, nose drinking, a demonstration with Samuel Cohen.
Oh.
You know who Samuel Cohen is?
Maybe if I saw a photo or some of his books or something, I can't recall now.
I think he showed us one of his books. No?
No, that was Leonard Orr, and I said Leonard Cohen.
Right.
Let's see. Oh, okay.
Now he's originally from UK, but he spent 3 years in Goa, in India, and in Israel, And he learned about nose drinking from his teacher, Kelly Raw, who figured it out in England, how to not only drink it up the nose, but how to decalcify the pineal gland, how to wake up all these sinuses, how to stimulate the third eye. And so he came up with a technique, not only how to drink urine up the nose, but he took it to a whole nother step. He was drinking coconut water in the nose. He was drinking carrot juice up the nose. And one of his favorites is wine up the nose.
Wow.
I'm going, if you got the Shivambo high, what is wine going to do for you? I don't know.
Yeah. Again, something I haven't tried, but I think with your guidance, and after we do the next session talking about it more, then I'll, give it a go.
I want to get one of the nasal sprayers. Like when I was a kid, I used to use it for, I don't know, allergies or whatever. And they do work and get up there and with a nice mist, and they work really well.
Yeah, you got to have something that has pressure. You see this little guy?
Yeah.
Now, when you've been in the Shivambu work enough times, you start to see objects and containers at the store, and you know what they're selling it as is not how you would use it. So they're selling this as a Fleet Enema bottle, and they had solution, and you'd squeeze it up your bum, and that's what it was used for. But once I saw that container, I'm going, no. I brought it home, cleaned it out, and this is perfect for getting the pressure up the nose.
Yeah. Okay.
Costs $2 at the store.
Nice.
And you'll find these things, you might even have them around the house, or you'll find them at a garage sale, and you go, whoa, that has a lot of uses to it. I'm going to try it for urine therapy.
I think I'd probably rather buy it new.
Yeah, and no telling what they use it for. The same with a lot of objects. So that's what's going to happen between now and next week. I'm going to turn off the recording here.